Okay, it's recorded. Good that I saw. I didn't forget. I forgot that I gave you the post rates. If not, my Zoom default records all the sessions. I said it like that.
Okay.
So good. So I introducing you. I know you know better than I think you know yourself. So I don't need to worry about the introduction part. Now the part is that we are going to talk about how to differentiate between what is a need and what is a want. Yeah. And how is that related to financial planning, correct?
Right.
Okay, good. We have 5 minutes more to go. So let's talk something else. Okay, by the way, I had a WhatsApp texting battle with Praveen today.
Uh-huh.
He was supposed to call me on Wednesday, he didn't call me.
Right.
So he promised a lot of things, and then I sent him a message saying, what happened to Mahesh? Periya kada na vandu pesren, he said. I said, what Periya kada? You're supposed to talk to him. Well, I'll come and tell you the long story. Let's not do it. I'm traveling now. I'll come back and talk to you. He's coming on, he's reaching today. Tonight he reached Bombay.
Okay.
Have you met him? Have you met him or you not met him yet?
No, we wanted to meet him, but Saturday I had a client meeting, so it got delayed. So I informed him earlier only that I will be late around 6:30 I informed.
So you guys have not met yet, both of
Because
you.
he lives. No. This Saturday I am thinking to meet him after you discuss with him. So I was thinking about that too. So tomorrow, if he gives me a call or
Yeah, if he reaches out to
I think
me,
he's
fine.
coming to Coimbatore.
No, if he reaches out to you, fine. If not, don't meet him this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me talk to him on Sunday. Because I'm going to talk to him on Sunday only, not Saturday. Okay. So we have our FB Live session. So we normally stay back after the session and then we review our weekly review. That's what we normally do. So as part of the let me talk to him and let me get his mind about what he wants to do. I'll either ask him to call you, preferably I'll ask him to call you. I feel is a better way to do.
Sure.
If not, if he feels that he wants you to call him, I'll drop you a WhatsApp on Sunday after I talk to him. Okay.
Sure.
Because let's get him to move on. I want him to really get moving. If not, he's always going to go around like this in circles.
Yeah.
Okay. I subscribe to this. What's his name? Hold on. Forget the name of the guy. What's his name? Oh, shit. Siddharth Rajsekhar. You told me about Siddharth Rajsekhar, right? You told me. So I subscribed to a free webinar. So today at 9:30 is his webinar. He's doing it at 9:30. Imagine 9:30 to 11.
Yeah, and majorly his webinars are pre-recorded.
Oh really?
So you might not see him live because he has been experimenting this pre-recording for past 1 or 2 months.
But how does he answer? But if you have questions, how do you answer?
No, that questions will be already recorded. Probably some of the webinars will be recorded because today I think he is having some webinar for inner circle members.
Okay.
So 7 to 8. So then 8 to 9 and then 9:30. So probably he might be on live. So some of the webinars on weekdays, in the afternoon or evening 4 o'clock, it is a pre-recorded.
Okay. So he's made that also into an art, huh?
In US it is common. I have attended one webinar of a foreign consultant. So she is pin interest specialist.
Okay.
So she has recorded everything in a recorded. So you can't ask any questions, but you can just see the recording and get a payment check. That's all. And afterwards, an email will be coming. There you can discuss with her what you want.
Okay. So we have got a long way to go. Huh? We've not even got our live webinars yet.
Right.
Actually, recorded pitch. The pitches is recorded.
Yeah, everything is recorded.
Wow.
So because the cost of the course he knows that will stay forever. Say for time being when he wants, then it's okay. So when he was traveling, also he was playing his webinars. So like I think last month he was traveling. So then his pre-recorded webinars was playing.
Hello, 8:30. Let's start.
Yeah.
So, good evening to the viewers on my YouTube channel and on Facebook Live. Thank you for those who are joining live, and for those who are seeing the recording. Thank you for your continued viewership of my videos. I do these videos every Friday with Mahesh, and we have him again today. Welcome, Mahesh. How are you?
Fine, going amazing. Thank you so much, Grenville, for again inviting me. And how are you, Grenville? How is going on?
I'm doing very well, Mahesh. Thank you. So before we start, a short introduction about Mahesh. Mahesh Kathiravan is a financial freedom mentor. So he works on helping people overcome their financial difficulties and giving them the freedom from the stress that comes from not managing the finance properly. So he has a very systematic and organized way of identifying what is your problem, and then providing a customized solution to you. So it's a very handy process, which I also utilize. So I would strongly recommend you to reach out to Mahesh. The contacts are available on my videos to reach out to him if you need his services. So back to the video. Thank you, Mahesh. And today I think we are going to have a discussion about how do we differentiate between a need and a want. Okay, so Mahesh is going to take us through the aspects of a need and a want, and then we're going to see how we can use this to help us start our journey in managing our finance. So take it away, Mahesh.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Grenville, for this wonderful introduction. And today's topic is a very interesting topic. And thank you so much, viewers, for coming again and again on this Facebook Live, and also for the viewers who are watching the recording. Because this is very important topic in personal finance, which is a bit diversified and also a bit complicated also, but common layman does not understand. So today I'm trying to, from my perspective, I'm sharing my experiences and how I differentiated between my needs and want, so that you can take key takeaways from this Facebook Live and can implement in your life. So before that, I remembered one line. I don't remember the author who has said or the person who has said. This is very apt for this particular discussion. So he said that what I like and what I need are two different things. Again, I'm saying what I like and what I need are two different things. This is very important. You need to know what you're liking and what you need. That's where the differentiating between your wants and needs can be difficult for many people. And if you can't tell the difference, it will always hold you back and prevent you from learning how to save money. Now, the average person, as you know, has a lot of debt because seeing the continuous lifestyle, they have a lot of credit card debt, the loans on furnitures, mobile phone, everything, fridges, more TV, a mortgage payment, car payment, and many more. But however, if you want to improve your financial situation, whether means getting out of the debt or stop living from salary to salary basis, you are always going to face one major thing, that is distinguish between needs and want. Now see, some of the items may be need, but many of the things no we buy no actually are wants only. And confusing you when your wants with needs, it will be causing a lot of financial stress. And I am sharing you this personal experience that I have gone to a financial stress because of non-differentiating between the needs and want. And I have seen many clients of mine also going to that phase. So I am not a man or person from different planet. I'm also like you, but I've learned from my mistakes, and that is why I'm sharing my personal experience so that you don't make that mistakes what I have done. Now, remember the only things you actually need is a place to live, a certain amount of clothing, and food and water. Now, I will tell you an hack. Now, keeply determine between the difference between an want and need. No, I will share you an hack. Think of the something need which is required for survival. That means without this, no, you can't survive. Like needs are water for drinking. Without water, you can't survive. Food, food, food is very important, and clothing will keep you warm and shelter to live in. Now, these are the different needs and wants example. And on the other hand, when want I define, it's everything else. The want are just to make your life enjoyable, because you need to enjoy your life as well. It's not that you have to believe and depend on needs only. You have to enjoy your life and make your family life also enjoyable. Now, for some people like me, I was thinking of cell phones, gym membership, cable, going out to eat, and so all are necessary things, but they aren't really. If you cannot afford to save the money or find yourself going to debt for your wants, then you need to start cutting these items out of your budget or your life, at least until you get your financial situation and spending under control. So it is normal to want things, but it is not a bad thing. Now you might even want to take a trip around the world or get a latest iPhone and so on. But whatever you want, be realistic. And first figure out that if you can afford, if you can't afford, then stop going any further. Remember, it's just a want, it's not a need, which is really important for a survival. Now, I will share you some of my experiences, my personal. I have started on 3 to 4 points where you can also lower your spending by telling the differences between the wants and needs. The very first point is that be what you have, like be content. Don't be always think that I want really this thing, I want this thing. No, be content with what you have, be enjoyable with what you have right now. And this pandemic is the best example which taught us about these things. So always, this doesn't mean that you can't enjoy the life and have a good time. No, I'm not saying that. See, the power of frugality means that living a life of a minimalist, that you can still live a great life while on a budget. Money doesn't have to dictate you how much fun you have, or neither to confusing wants with needs. There are plenty of ways to live awesome life while saving the money. And yes, and you can still see your friends, have fun with your loved ones and more, all while staying on a realistic budget. Second point which I came across, but I did not let my needs turn into wants. Now, one of the problem in understanding wants and needs is realizing that sometimes our needs can cause us to spend more than we should. Meaning needs can sometimes turn into wants also. Now, here are the basic examples of basic needs. Like for example, water I said. Now, to hydrated, you need water, right? But how this need can be turned into water? When you buy a bottled water, when you buy a bottled soda, when you buy a cold coffee at Starbucks. So this is where your need comes into converted into want. Food. Food comes in many forms. The healthier the better. But going out all the time, eating outside, what it does mean? It does that need is converting into want and causing you to spend more than unnecessary. Shelter. The place you decide to live doesn't have to break your budget. If you are able to, if you have a budget of 1 BHK, go for it. When you save the money for a 2 BHK or 3 BHK or you want a bungalow, save money for that, plan for that, make it as a financial goal and then work for it. Or else you can rent a home for someone, live in an apartment, a tiny home, a mobile home. Now that's all got famous with, they got very popularity. But this all needs with a want will overspending and thinking you need something way above your needs. Clothing. Clothing is what? Needs like a pants and shirts. But if you go out to society, if you go get affordable clothing by shopping at a big bazaar mall or DMart mall, you can get a very good discount. Right now in Myntra, like online sites also, you're getting good discount. But if you buy expensive clothing like Louis Vuitton, 10,000 rupees of suit, which is not needed daily in this climate. So you don't need these items in order to survive. So these are the basic examples which I told you where your needs getting converted into buy. The third point which I believe, which I realized in my life was I always thought before I buy. So before I buy something, I always stop and thought that whether this item is a need or a want. Like for example, I will share you my example when I was buying a fridge for my when I got newly married. So when we moved in a rented home, we thought that we need to buy a fridge because that rented home, that owner was not having fridge. So we were searching lot many options. There were 3-door options. There were lot many options in fridge. But then I asked my wife, whether do we need for just 2 people so many big fridges? No, that's not needed. Only a small fridge is needed. That's all. What we need to do, we have to store only 1 or 2 days food in that fridge. That's all, nothing else. So if a family of four also, a small fridge will suffice your needs. When we were a family, when I was a child, my father did not bought a fridge. At that time, it was not a big fridge. Also, that was not a demand. As such, now it has got into that lifestyle need. But earlier, it was not a lifestyle need. But still, my father bought a very small fridge which suffices our four people's need. So you need to think that: do I need this to survive? Why do I need or want this item? And do I already have something similar? By asking first yourself these questions, you will waste less money and even prevent clutter from taking over your life. The third point, wait before your purchase. See, if you're still confused that I want need something, but I don't know how to buy on that, I would suggest that go back to home, think about that purchase, discuss with your families for at least a day, and ask themselves whether this purchase is needed or not needed as of now, whether it is required for your survival or not. So if it is not required for survival, you can wait at least a week, right? So you can save for that week and then buy that thing. Doing this, you will allow yourself to research the item. Say, for example, if I take the fridge only. So before going to shop, I research a lot in online. So I asked my wife what are things we would need, what are things we would need in a fridge perspective. So like saving electricity. So we thought of UPS or voltage stabilizer. Then we thought of, okay, inbuilt it is there or not. So what will the costing of inbuilt is there? Or else if we buy external UPS, will it cost less? So these are the things you need to brainstorm with your wife, with your children, with your family members, and then go to browse many sites. Like now, there are so many online sites which can give the comparison, and then go personally to that store and get more details from the shopkeeper also, because that's where you will able to differentiate between need and want, and you will be doing a good purchase. You can imagine I saved about 12,000 rupees by buying just a small fridge, which is still now, it has been 8 years with us, and still that fridge is functioning without any problem. Can you imagine? It just suffice our needs. That's all. It's that you need to maintain your devices, what you call you have to give the proper oiling to that particular devices, and that device will be there for your lifetime. Now, last, evaluate whether you are currently spending time on. See, most of the time, no, we currently spend on time on probably just wants, because this is even true with many other people. Because think, for example, like I said, let a cell phone, new car, etc. So, if you are trying to cut your budget, then you may need to get rid of some wants that you already have, such as your cell phones, your internet, cable, Netflix, or Amazon Prime, gym membership. Now, the gym membership will be famous because right now the new year will come, all will be very josh to go to join membership, and they will pay 1 year or 2 years membership. But think twice whether that is a need or want, or going out to eat. So these are the things which are this is the life based experience which I shared with you. Now this is very important that you need to understand now these are the things, basic steps which I told with you. Now I have developed one matrix kind of thing, like quadrant kind of thing, wherein I have distributed everything in my needs and want quadrant. So in that I was able to clarify, because some people may not understand these steps, because it will be very vague to discuss on that, and a very vast topic also. So what I did, I again go back to that quadrant kind of thing, where I really researched, I put my things in that quadrant, and then I came to realize that, okay, this is not required as such now. This is a want. Let it postpone. So that way, I will show you that. Grenville, can you show that image?
It is on right now. Will come up in a second.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So this is the image which I am showing. Now, if you see that image, there's a 4 quadrants are there. Now, this quadrant is really very important. See, now you will get confused, but since I am a computer science graduate, so I always feel that why not mix technology with personal finance? I always like to experiment a lot. So we as a software developer, we always have this quadrant. So in this quadrant, if from most of the people, if your viewers are from software field or from technical, they can know that they have to prioritize the requirements for system development. And it is always this quadrant which helps them to make the decisions. Now, another popular model for differentiating between needs and want is a Moscow model. It's the MOSCOW. MOSCOW. Now, it represents that must have, should have, could have, or want have. So it is like must have, should have, could have, or want have. Now, in essence, it is the priority scale that will help us to distinguish between the essential need from the desirable wants. Okay, so this is the grid. Now, this grid will give you visualizing things where exactly your needs and wants are going. Now, the first grid, I'm talking about low want and low need. Now, this is the bottom left I'm going with. We are starting with. This is the relatively worst option. Because if you put anything in this, no, low want, no need. So it is a last priority. Even if you have successfully, you have done your passive income, you are financially freedom, everything you have done in your life. So you have planned for your retirement, you have planned a good future for your children. Now that you are enjoying the life, and still, if some things are in this quadrant also, it's a relatively worst option. So things in this quadrant can be safely ignored. Now, now this is something we have to avoid, and also we have to full stop. So any things which you put into this quadrant, please avoid it. Don't go for it. Now the second quadrant is a low want, high need. Now this is a very trickiest and very complicated to understand, because in this, if you see, we have a low want also, but very high need also. So this is not actually apparent, but we may discard an option superficially, not knowing its true world. Or indeed, we may arbitrarily put up that option despite it being essential. A typical example, like we can say procrastination of going to gym. Now, this is actually a low want, but you realize that okay, we want to exercise, we want to keep our body because it's a new year, we want to be in shape because of this whole thing. But what you realize that it's a low want, it's a procrastination. But remember one thing: life's greatest opportunities often come disguised in this quadrant. So this is something we need to go to a deeper level, and we have to understand what exactly is a low want and what exactly is high need. Now, once something is identified in this quadrant, the key to remember is that higher goal at hand and prioritize accordingly. A third quadrant is a high want and low need. Now, this is the quadrant which will always we come across, and therefore it's a very important thing. Now, please listen carefully. Now, these items belonging here are the ones typically we have to ask this question: do we really need that? The last four questions which I asked you before. Do we really need that? This quadrant will typically include items or requirement that are very attractively, looking very attractively, but ultimately it is not needed also. So once something is identified in this quadrant, we need to really think that what is exactly the value it is giving or what we don't. Now, the topmost is a high want and high need. This is represent the ideal scenario. This is the most powerful quadrant. So anything which comes into this, no, this is where our wants and needs are aligned, and we have a higher motivation to pursue such desires or prioritize for such items. Now, while this sounds like a very simple life and ideal lifestyle, but we have to be very careful. Often we always disguise, like I said, disguise our wants as needs and trick ourselves into justifying this. Say for example, simple thing, I will take an high end phone like iPhone, you can say. Now, for example, I am an office guy traveling by train, like in Mumbai or any other metro city, by metro train or anything. I'm sitting in office, I'm not going out. Why do I need an iPhone, or why do I need an higher end phone where I can suffice my requirement just to make a call, just to make some videos, or just to see my WhatsApp and everything? I can go for 10 to 15,000, and that's a very good mobile also. But what we'll do, we will justify our need. What I will say, no man, this phone is regularly required. I need to show my friends. I need to show my boss. Say what is my salary, and I am earning this, and I have to show off. I have to show my lifestyle, right? I will put my in Facebook my pictures with my Apple phone. I will do some creativity and everything. That is where you're justifying your want converting into need. So it is important, therefore, to assess if our wants are truly our needs or not. Now, the key to resolve this quadrant is to look before you leap. Think about that questions. Look before you leap. Think before that whether you want this really it is actually the need or is a want. So now this is a very ideal scenario, but it always have to double check before pursuing with very ideal. Now, oftentimes our wants and needs will change. Now, this is not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. See, higher want, sometimes higher want, higher need, you will put iPhone because that is what you require. But at some point of time, when your lifestyle changes, when your whole perspective of the life changes, that time your iPhone will be not in high want and high need. Probably a bungalow will be there. Probably a high-end car will be there. So always in this quadrant, your wants and needs things will always change based on your lifestyle. So this quadrant will not remain static. But always remember, while we place any things in this quadrant may change, our strategy for resolving this quadrant, what I said, will always remain constant. Okay, this is because the master key to resolving all the quadrants is lying in our judgment and subsequent prioritizing of our value. See, in the end of the day, we are not evaluating any products, items, or desire. Every time we evaluate something or perhaps even someone, we actually analyze it and discover different aspects of ourselves, our desires, and our values. So when we consciously start to separate the wheat from the chaff, we begin the crucial journey of understanding ourselves better. Hope now you might have got some idea about differentiating between wants and need. And I'm sure that you will take an important step in differentiating your wants and need and will achieve the financial freedom in the near future. Thank you so much.
Great, Mahesh. That really was eye-opening, and many of the thoughts that you gave really resonated with me. I have a few questions. So, is a definition of a need and a want relative to the quantum of income you generate? For example, if I have the money, what is the harm in buying an iPhone? I mean, if I'm able to afford,
Yeah.
is that something that would fall into a need or a want if the finance is available?
So again, I'm coming back to that question. Sorry, you have to ask that questions key whether you really now there is a need of that particular iPhone, whether if that is required to survive. For example, you don't have any phone only, and you always see the iPhone only because without iPhone you can't survive. So whether that is coming as a need, then you have to buy. Now again, I have to second question: why do I need? What is the use of iPhone when the basic phone also will suffice all requirements and functionality of that particular iPhone? Now, do you have already have something is similar? Yes, you have. You have one phone which is sufficing all the requirements of an iPhone can do. Yeah, only difference is the brand name. So, but whether brand will never satisfy our lifestyle. It's just the saving of money, the learning the art of managing the money will save our life. So we should always think from this perspective. Whether any brand or any thing, anything is there, everything is good for you. But unless and until if you are able to distinguish and ask these three questions, then your life will be sorted out.
That's very true, Mahesh. And as you also said, I think in my life, what I've been through very much goes with the principles that you've said. I think the first question is to ask ourselves, do we really need this right now? I mean, one is also you may need it, but do you need it even now? I think that is an important question to ask. Can it be something that can be prioritized? That means it is not a need, right? It's a want. So I could always prioritize it at a later stage where I can do without it. So at one point of time when I stay in Chennai and it's pretty hot. There was no such thing as an air conditioner, right? Even in the summer, we used to sleep on the roof or we used to have the coconut leaf fans. But today everybody has an air conditioner in the room and feel that it is a need, right? So the point I think is that is how you evaluate the quality of life versus what you have as an input, I think also differentiates a need and a want, right? With the
Right.
quantum of earning going up, people are able to afford certain luxuries, which at one point of time was something you would like to have. But today, with the quality of life improving, I think that would become a need which you could and should have to at least enjoy the quality of life besides just only saving the money and living a miserable life. You agree?
Right, right. That's right. So we always have to put the things in that quadrant. So whether it's a thing to prioritize, whether it's a thing to pursue, whether you that thing can you avoid, or whether you think can recognize whether it's actually a want or need. When you put that in this quadrant, so you can realize that I want, I need, you go for it. Don't worry about it. But before leaping before have a discussion with your family members whether this is actually a I need, and then go for it. No problem with it.
No, I think that is a very valid point, Mahesh. Thank you so much for sharing this very eye-opening points that would easily remember and easily resonate with people to help us really separate these needs and wants and make sure that we can go and address the wants and then manage our needs. Okay, or the other way around, get our needs and manage our wants so that when we can afford them and when we need them, we then actually convert a want into a need and we buy them or we just
Right.
purchase them. So that would really help and that really help. I gained a lot of information today out of what you said. And again, it was very simple for me to understand and to apply to my life. So thank you, Mahesh. I know you're a busy person, but to spare your time and come on these FB Lives to share your knowledge with me and the viewers. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting again, and hope the viewers will take a good understanding of this and do ask the questions. Maybe with there, Grenville will always refer me that questions, and I will be able to answer that questions also. Because ask, you shall receive it. This is what the Bible also says. That is very important, and you will get what you want. Thank you so much.
That is great, Mahesh. I definitely pass on the questions that come in the comment box to you. And viewers, we do these sessions every Friday, which is focused on financial planning and how to manage our finances. So please do send in your comments on what topics you would like us to do. And we'll gladly incorporate that into the sequence of videos that we have planned to go forward, preparing for you and for your benefit. So thank you all the viewers who came on live as well as those who will be viewing the recording of this video. Remember to like my Facebook page as well as to visit my YouTube channel where this is also being streamed live, and subscribe to both to get the come and join us in the live sessions as well as also enjoy the recorded content that we put in there. Thank you everyone. This is Grenville, your planning coach, signing off till next week. Have a good week and stay safe. Okay, that went well, I think. I have a suggestion, okay, if you don't mind. Can we break these down into sections rather than have you continuously speak? Because I believe that the retention of what you're saying, there is no separation between each point, at least from my perspective. Huh? Because I'm listening to the whole session as an audience too. So I would believe that if you stop with one section or one point, and I ask a quick question where you can actually give an example, I think it will settle better in the mind of the people viewing the video. At least this is my point of view. It's nothing wrong in what we are doing today. I don't think it's wrong, but I think that they'll have to review the videos twice to gather the information. But if I think we stop and reaffirm one specific point, that I think would stay longer and will be retained also in the mind of people. What do you think?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, I was just
I
thinking
will
that
do
was
that.
something that because I was trying to recollect your points, the 4 points. No, even now I cannot recollect. I remember the part about stop and think, which I always do either way. So it's stuck in my head. But the other 3 points I couldn't remember, and I said, okay. So don't take me wrong. I don't mean it in a
No,
bad
no,
way.
no.
I just want to make sure that we also get the attention of the people and they retain that information.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're
Right,
okay with
right.
that.